show you what's going on. And we start with a look outside. Look at this. Come on.
Oh, that is a gorgeous
Are you serious?
Oh.
Yeah, John T. Denny
Nice.
up in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. There are fewer peaks that are more photographed in the northern mountains than Hickory Peak, and it is really, really pretty. Yeah, it's cool because you see in the foreground a lot of the flowers blooming and stuff like that. And you can see they got snow all the way down into the valley floor, but up to a foot of snow in the high northern mountains from this last storm. Good looking stuff. Now, we are going to see some interesting things change here, but we did have overnight lows this morning that were impressive. Snow across the northern mountains, especially in Eagle Nest. Thick blanket of snow, along with clear skies and calm winds, led to a record low. They got to 8 degrees this morning. The old record was 15 degrees, so they smashed that record in Eagle Nest. Other portions of the state definitely saw record lows as well. 21 in Gallup, old record 23. Santa Fe, their old record was 35, and they got to 26 this morning. Meanwhile, out to the east, Roswell and Las Vegas both set records. 28 was the old record in Las Vegas, 43 the old record in Roswell, both eclipsed significantly. So this was definitely a cold setup this morning. This evening, we are seeing a couple of sprinkles develop across southeastern Colorado, trying to sneak over the state line. This is not amounting to much out there, and we don't anticipate much happening across the northeast other than a little cold front trying to nudge its way in over the next couple of days. More on that in just a moment, but freeze warnings up across the northeast once again for tonight, out into the northwest plateau as well, where we could see those temperatures dip just below freezing. Here in the metro, there is no risk of that tonight. 58 degrees, winds out of the south at 7 miles an hour. Across the north, temperatures 40s and 50s, and then down to the south, 50s and 60s. So a nice evening. Still rather cool out there, but the temperatures are going to be on their way up. We have a big ridge of high pressure, which is leading to a bit of an offshore flow in California, Oregon, up into Washington. And we're seeing temperatures there skyrocket. We're not seeing that kind of warmth here yet, but things are going to change across this area over the next few days. In fact, as you take a look at the highs across the west side of the state today, we were in the mid 60s for the most part. But check out Saturday. We're going to be into the mid 80s, jumping up 20 degrees across the west. Here in central sections, Santa Fe, Albuquerque, Las Cruces, all in the 60s today. As we get into the weekend, 70s, 80s, and 90s, a 20, 25 degree jump. But as you get out into the east side of the state, boy, it warms up even more than that. In fact, by Monday, take a look at some of the differences here. Wednesday to Monday, we're looking at close to a 30-degree jump in many of these areas across the east. Now, we're also likely to see some pretty gusty winds because as we get into the beginning of next week, storm system is going to drop down to our west here. And what that's going to do is start to crank up the winds because the pressure difference between that low and high pressure to the east is going to squeeze those winds across the area here starting the beginning of next week. And that's going to create an effective wind tunnel across New Mexico, I think beginning Monday, and may well last all the way into Wednesday of next week. So yes, the actual wind tunnel over us could be tough. Could be seeing winds 30 to 40 miles an hour consistently at the beginning of next week, and obviously very high fire danger. 60s and 70s across southern Colorado. Cool in the morning, then sunny in the afternoon. Looks pretty good out into the northwest. Plenty of sunshine here for tomorrow, but those northwest winds going up to 20 miles an hour. Over to the southwest, mostly sunny and warmer here. Temperatures for the most part 70s and 80s. Over to the southeast, sunny and mild. 79 Hobbs, 81 Roswell, 55 out in Cloudcroft. Up to the northeast, temperatures here in the 60s and 70s, and then we're going to warm into the high 70s. Even low 80s will be possible late in the weekend. 50s, 60s, and 70s across the northern mountains and out into the east mountains. Temperatures here 60s and 70s, sunshine and mild conditions. Finally, in the metro, we wrap it up with temperatures tomorrow afternoon in the 70s. Cool to start, warm to finish. Extended forecast. We're all the way to 87 by Sunday. Much more on Twitter at KRQE Mark.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.